Over 400 years ago, William Shakespeare wrote arguably one of the theater's most iconic characters, Hamlet. To this day, Shakespeare's play about the Prince of Denmark is being produced and adapted for audiences around the world. But how can a play so old still be relevant and popular for a modern audience? How does a Shakespearean actor in 2021 relate to a character written in the 1600s? Hi, my name is Alex and I'm an actor and teaching artist at Asolo Rep. Today, I'll demonstrate how a Shakespearean actor analyzes classical text and finds personal connections to the circumstances of the play through character intention. I'll then show you how making slight changes in intention can open up the possibilities of relating classical plays to modern days. To start, let's take a look at the beginning of Hamlet's famous to be or not to be speech. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. Already, we see Hamlet facing a dilemma and thinking out loud to the audience, trying to make a decision on a very complicated question. In the first two lines, he's clear about what the question is. Hamlet is asking if it's more noble to be or not be. He elaborates on what that means in the next two lines. Hamlet believes that if he chooses to be, he will be choosing to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune. If he chooses not to be, he will be taking arms against a sea of troubles and ending them. The poetry, while very beautiful, can be a little confusing. Let's take a look at this section in context to the events of the play and see how character intention can make the text make more sense. But before we do that, let's define character intention. Character intention can be defined as what's behind what a character is saying. It's the meaning of the line said in relation to what the character is thinking. In other words, it's what's driving the character to say and do what they do in the play. For example, let's say I have a big test in the morning and my roommate is playing loud music late at night. If my line is, "It's 2 in the morning," I'm going to say it in a way that tells my roommate that it's very late at night and he needs to turn the music down. It's 2 in the morning. Using character intention, I was able to bring the circumstances of the scene into my line, allowing it to make more sense in context to the scene. Now, let's apply this to Hamlet. We already know that Hamlet is in a rough spot. His father is dead and his uncle married his mother. Yikes, that is some really strong info that we can use when acting this speech. Many people believe that because of how terrible the situation he's in, Hamlet is considering death over having to live with the harsh realities of the play. Let's try the beginning of the speech with that in mind, and see how the added intention makes the text come to life. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing, end them. How did my intention change the way you heard the speech? Finally, let's take a look at the speech in context to Asolo Rep's Hamlet, Prince of Cuba. In this adaptation, we see the play being set in 1898 Cuba, a time of war and revolution. Imagine Hamlet using this speech as a way to debate whether to allow the fate of his country be decided by global powers and colonialism, or if he should fight for independence. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. Which version was more exciting to you? Explore more character intentions with the worksheet on this website. Then, take a look at Frankie Alvarez's performance of the to be or not to be speech and try to decide what you think his character intentions were. Shakespeare may have written his plays hundreds of years ago, but his work lives on in the productions and adaptations for modern audiences. Today, I showed you how to approach Shakespeare by breaking down the text, relating it to the events in the play, and how actors use character intention to help them understand and relate to the characters they are playing. Thanks for watching.